Hundreds of thousands of people say they cannot listen to The Weeknd anymore because of the rat-tail guy he played in the Idol.
Oh, you can sing.
Tedros was so bad it made the internet fall out of love with Abel Tesfaye. But The Weeknd was just as disturbing. The music he put out was so good, we just chose to collectively ignore it. Tesfaye set the fine line between himself and the character he chose to portray. Everything The Weeknd did should have been attributed to the persona and not the man behind it. Fact is, though, art does say a lot about the artist. For his project named The Weeknd, Abel chose to write about suicide, hard drugs, biphobia, and toxic masculinity in general. The toxic masculinity comes in heavier forms for The Weeknd. He is not just stripping women down to mere caricatures, the sexual objects, but brags he can manipulate them into sacrifices, abuse, and drug usage. The following lines of initiation, for example. I got a test for you, you said you want my heart, well baby you can have it all. There's just something that I need from you, is to meet my boys, I got a lot of boys. This song seems to suggest that a woman, in order to earn the weak's love, must participate in a sexual orgy first. The idea of one being persuaded or urged to do this, eager or not, calls into question the idea of informed consent. It reflects manipulation and unequal gender and power dynamics that the singer asks the woman to perform sexual favors. It is as if the woman is being volunteered and groomed to perform sexual acts as a service doll, plaything or sacrifice, which is unhealthy and morally twisted. So I just fucked 2 bitches 'fore I saw you from the hills sounds pretty harmless. Side note, sometimes Weeknd sings about his famous exes, or playing their voicemails for the audience without their consent. But who dated Bella Hadid, or Selena Gomez, Abel or The Weeknd? Probably Abel. But why does Abel have to express his personal experience with specific people through the misogynistic and arrogant stage persona Weeknd? Maybe because they are the same person. In Hurt You, he sings about making his partner suicidal during the pre-chorus. And all the nights you thought about taking your life. 'Cause of me, baby. And then he goes, but if you call me up, I'm fucking you on sight. Like it will solve the problem. Feels like he is approaching the feelings of his partner without any sorrow, even as some kind of achievement. The song might be about Selena Gomez, who suffered from depression and anxiety. Anyways, in High for this, lyrics such as open your hands, take a glass, don't be scared, I'm right here, even though you don't roll, are highly concerning, as he is encouraging a woman to take drugs so as to relax her, even though he knows and has already indicated that she's not the user. Weeknd addresses his drug habits proudly in dismissive lyrics, such as I need drugs to love you, from Smile. Put that cocaine on a plate Molly with the purple rain, from Faith. A mix of misogyny and homophobia is represented in lyrics of Lost in the Fire. The problematic lyrics call bisexuality in women a phase, feeding into the stereotypes that women are only with one another to please a man, and a proper intercourse with a man can turn a female into straight. Playing into you haven't met the right man yet narrative. Here go the lyrics. You said you might be into girls. You said you're going through a phase. Keeping your heart safe. Well baby, you can bring a friend. She can ride on top your face, while I fuck you straight. The song is about Bella Hadid. As in the pre-chorus he sings, and we lost a lot of things in the fire, so it took a year for me to find out. After Bella and Abel broke up, there was about a 1-year gap before they reunited. Then there was this photo of the couple leaving the club with bisexual singer Halsey. What's also troubling is that The Week seems to be outing Hadid as bisexual, therefore denying her agency regarding who gets to discuss her sexuality. The lyrics are tone-deaf and disgusting, considering the fact that bisexual women have a 61.1% lifetime prevalence of violence by an intimate partner, as opposed to 35% for heterosexual women. I'm not even going to discuss Tedros, regarding whom Abel said in an interview with GQ. He's despicable, a psychopath. Why sugarcoat it? But he's somehow useful to this girl, and it's unfortunate. He co-created the character to be this toxic, and he came out with the plot where Tedros ends up being somehow useful. And how useful? By manipulating and using her. Well, that sounds like a Weeknd song plot. And after the backlash, he desperately tried to separate himself from the disgusting antagonist of the Idol. I wanted to make sure he looked nothing like me, acted nothing like me, just a totally different person. Abel said the same about The Weeknd in 2020, after he received backlash regarding all that stuff I discussed earlier. It's definitely a character. It is me singing the words. It is my writing. It's like you want people to feel a certain way. You want them to feel angry. You want them to feel sad. You want them to feel. It's never like my intent to offend anybody. And whose vision Weeknd the character is projecting? Abel Tesfaye, of course. The same goes for Tedros. If he doesn't want to be defined by the work he creates, what is the purpose of his art? He would probably answer that with make them feel something BS, but even if it is so, is this truly how he shows the world to feel about him? Or maybe he's just an asshole that is attributing blame for his dubious content onto his devilish alter egos.